October 20th, 2021. I'm just watching the evening news, and I'm sitting in New York. I have a local NYPD that watches over our area, but I'm in the county of Queens, not in Brooklyn. And they had a story on about an area of New York called Brooklyn, and they have a community affairs bureau. I don't know if we have one in Queens. It hasn't. I think maybe I ran into one, but it's a completely different feel than the feel that they've got going on in Brooklyn. Now, I'm not sure if that has to do with the higher level of like ministry involvement in that area. I mean, that would be a guess. That ties into a Maxine Raub. And another piece of news I saw yesterday I left off.
Rolling down some of the city streets is catching the eyes of children.
And it's not even offering ice cream. Instead, it's operated by the NYPD and serving up a different kind of treat. CBS 2's Steve Overmeyer reports.
Because when I see inequality, this is where it starts, is right on the television, but it goes through the community board's communications director at the NYPD, goes to the news media station, and then comes through that filter of showing good things.
Step inside the NYPD game truck with PS5s and Xboxes and Nintendo Switch. This is a mobile arcade.
I'm feeling excited.
It allows police a chance to connect with the youth.
Our children go through a lot with schoolwork, and they're dealing with the pandemic and the vaccine. They go through a lot. We want to be able to provide them with a safe space and a place where they can have a lot of fun.
The NYPD has a long history of engaging with youth through sports. This is another version of community outreach that's clearly working.
There's a lot of people in our class saying that they don't like it, but honestly, I love NYPD because, you know, some NYPD are not bad. Yeah, they're actually really good.
The key is connecting with their audience.
This is their language, but many times, and I've experienced it myself, when I come in here and I'm playing the games with the kids, and then I start talking, what grade you in, what school you go to, how do you like school, what's your favorite subject? I get to engage them in so many different things.
The game truck was created thanks to a child actor turned philanthropist. Brock Pierce funded the creation of both trucks and has worked with the NYPD on this from the start.
To see the game, fully on and dreams become a reality is such a beautiful thing. And I grew up playing games. Games inspired me and taught me how to level up in life.
Now officers are building good relationships in the community, even if that means losing. What's it feel like to be losing to a child?
It's embarrassing, but
Is this a little humbling?
yeah, it definitely is. Like, I remember being this age, I probably could beat any 40-year-old myself.
You know, I feel good. I'm looking at this one. Ain't no surprise.
For the kids, it's a safe space. For any adult picking up a controller, maybe not. In Brownsville, Brooklyn, Steve Overmeyer, CBS 2 News.
I feel you.
What a cool idea, though, right?
It really is.
Don't tell my kids, because they'll never come out.
This is Channel
Do you know
2,
those buttons?
CBS New York. This is the evening news, by the
What are
way.
you doing?
Kudos, though. It's a great program.
Fantastic.
Okay, let's go to our weather now. Lonnie Quinn, feeling more like spring out today.
You betcha. Beautiful outside even right now, and it certainly was this afternoon. Another good-looking day tomorrow.
Now, he's going to go over the weather report. Today's the day that I did VAMPRE. Technically, this, I suppose you could say, a safe house, but it's not so safe because I was getting the voltage amperage shock through my heel.
Tomorrow, picture, there it is, right there. And hey, look, there's really not too much to report. All these little showers may trickle in at the portions of the Catskills, maybe northern Sullivan, Ulster County.
Now,
Not
they
too
show
much of anything.
St. John
Big
and
thing
St.
you're gonna notice the winds
George.
today. Coming in, some folks with a westerly wind, some
It's
folks with
a
that north
Euro,
westerly wind, and a
E-U-R-O
north westerly wind.
forecast.
We so often associate that with cooler temperatures. And you'd be right in making that association. However, it's different right now because when we have a big ridge in the jet stream that develops, anyone south of that ridge gets mild air. And my goodness, today, Ottawa, Canada was pushing 70 degrees, 67 for that area. The real cold air was well up into Canada. And if you look at all the other dynamics,
Now,
I don't
up
really see
here it says
anything
St. John's,
problematic
and here
until
it says St.
possibly-
George.
Possibly Friday. Now, you could see a couple of these little showers here around Chicago, maybe squeaking their way into the area tomorrow night. But really, another good-looking day with that mild air being pushed in. This rain chance that you see out here around Iowa, that's what I'm going to focus on. So here's how it's going to progress. And the model's picking it up perfectly. It shows the low. It even shows a couple of leading little stragglers that make their way.
So I'm still working on this at Calyx factor for Great Grape Rape, which is forest and deforest. I've also edited a VAMPRE, being the voltage amperage going through my heel, which yesterday I showed the advanced stages of radiological. I mean, I call it radiological, but it's really like electrical. It could be considered electrical. Again, I'm not like a aficionado, like, I mean, I'm trying to make my medical journal as precise as I can with the minute resources that I have to rely on, being that I don't have access to like scholars and professionals in specific areas. Like I don't have access to go question like a Con Edison person or a Verizon person. Usually I don't think that they teach the public that stuff anyway. So right now this is my tetra topography, but topiary, that I've got a big hole in several different areas, that while I'm in the safe house, supposedly safe house, it's not really safe at all, but I mean it is on one end, but so I went up to the local one of the stores in Bell Boulevard. They know who they are, and I mentioned the VAMPRE. I also mentioned I have an umbrella that I walk with that are these colors. There was a woman who came up on the boulevard the other night, and she's like, "Oh, you're just missing yellow, and it would be like you're representing Jamaica." And I said to her, that would be interesting. I said, but again, I could swap out the colors and I could make it a couple of different countries. And I didn't say at the time that it was Ben 10, BENTEN, or actually BEN10. But my son Benjamin, there was a cartoon that came out. I never really watched it, but they used to call him Ben 10 in Ronkonkoma when he was in school, which ties into whatever with what I got going on with my children and myself. He's supposedly like part human, but he's got alien something or other, and it's about their journey. So again, I haven't watched it, but I know there's some significance in that Cartoon Network series. So that's that, and that's where the umbrella is for me when I walk at the moment with Wiser Green. I mean, again, it's Chinwan, it's frog. I don't know much more than that. I said to Lynn the other night, I think somewhere in the world they use amphibian or frog or something in relation to some people that are very important. I said, but I lose the vocabulary and the words with not knowing anybody who's a part of it. So my rudimentary try, I hope, is not angering the more important people in the chain of what I need for whatever, and whatever. Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. It's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. It's Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxy right now is broken.